Alright guys, you are welcome to UJ Designs. In this tutorial, we want to show you how you can measure your client and get the best out of it. So I'm going to use my daughter in making this video. So if you are new in our channel, please subscribe and give us a like and share our video. Thank you very much. So we want to begin. The first thing that you need to take note of, assuming you are to make a gown, the first thing you need to take note of is stand erect, stand properly. Your clients have to stand properly so that the measurements have to be very clear. So you start from the shoulder. You start from the shoulder, see where I place my tape. You move down to wherever your client wants it to be. And remember, if it's going to be a very long gown, you will also consider if your client is one that normally wear heels. Because if you measure it at this point, assuming you get 44 here, by the time the person wear gown, it may go up. So the consideration of that should be, you should put that into consideration. And what do you need to do to get it right is to ask your client to raise up, or you add a little to that. Having said that, the next thing is the shoulder measurements. You need to get your shoulder measurement. And how do you measure that? Look at this bone here. You see this bone here? You start from there. You start from there. You don't measure like this. You don't do your shoulder measurement this way. No, that is wrong. You place it in this form. Hope you can see. You place it from here, this bone, at this point, to the other bone. Run it across this way. This way. That is how you do your shoulder measurement. So having done that, the next thing that you need to determine is the neck. Usually, ladies, they depend on how they want their neck to be. It's usually wide. But if it's like something like a turtleneck, you need to determine. After putting, you just add your finger. Can you raise your face a bit? Just add one finger. You can see just a finger here. Just give a gap of one finger in between, so that by the time you, after fixing, you will arrive at the point. That is for the neck measurement. And what else do you need to do is to, if it is a long sleeve, you will start from this point. You start from this point. It's usually good to ask your client to keep the hand like this so that you get exactly the measurement. It's okay like that. It's okay. It's okay. So you'll be able to know where the extent. When you put it straight, you might not be able to get it exactly, but when you bend the hand, you get it correctly. Fine. And if it's like clothes that requires to have a where you need to determine where it ends. Some clothes has button, like long sleeve. If it's a long sleeve that will have a button here, you know that you don't need to measure all through. When you get the right measurement, you do the minor there. I hope that is clear. So the next thing that you determine is the bust measurement. For ladies, it is called bust span, bust measurement. And for men, it is called chest measurement. Okay? So you determine the bust measurement. The bust measurement, you don't need to hold it tight. No. If you hold it tight, by the time you finish, the cloth will be so tight, might not even enter your client. So you need to free it at this bust measurement. You make sure that it runs through the back. Can you turn your back, please? Can you see? Can you see? You make sure that it runs through this area, because that is where the bust or chest measurement covers. So you give a gap based on how your client wants it to be. There must be a gap. There must be a gap so that it will be a bit free. The next thing you do is to determine the half length. The half length measurement. It is also called underbust or half length measurement. You come to this point. That is under the bust. Under the bust. That is where this is where we call underbust. Now the half length should be something above the navel, something above at the navel. That is where you measure your half length. So, having said that, sometimes you notice some of your clients may have a tummy. The tummy may be bigger than the chest. That should also be put into consideration, because if you use just the chest measurement, you may make error when coupling body. So you ought to determine the stomach. If the stomach is big, you determine the size of the stomach. Remember, allowance should be there when you assume. What is the next thing you do is the waist measurement. You measure the waist here, close to the tummy, close to the tummy. You consider that. You don't measure below, you measure up here. Up here. Can you turn your back, please? Fine. You measure here. You measure here. Just to determine the waist measurement. After that, you need to determine the hips measurement. Very important. And where do you measure the hips measurement? This is the hips. This is the hips measurement. So all you need to do is to go through this way. Go through this way. You can see this is the hips. This is the hips measurement. So you don't hold it tight. No, you don't hold it tight. You give like one finger or more, to determine you have to be free. You know, as it is now, it's not free. Remember, this is a jean material, so you have to be free. When put it, you have to be free, so that wearing your skirt will be easy. Wearing the gown, unless it's a free gown. If it's a free gown, then you determine by the extent that your client wants it to be. So the beauty of clothes, the beauty of your sewing starts from your measurement. If you don't get your measurement right, then it will be difficult to put those parameters you measured. It's going to disorganize the whole process. So these are the major things that you need to consider in taking note of your measurement. And if it is a cloth that short sleeve, long sleeve, this area should be determined too. You need to make this measurement. This is the armhole. You determine the armhole of your client. You determine the round sleeve, which is here, the round sleeve of your client. If it is trouser, you need to determine the laps. Stand properly. Can you stretch your leg a little? No, just stay like this. Good. You can determine this way to determine the laps. The laps measurement. Assuming you're making pants trouser, you determine the laps. Depending on how your client wants it, that is how you determine the laps. Some person, can you stay closer? Some person can measure it this way. The laps, they can do it together this way. Whatever they get, they divide it into two. Why so? But you have to give a little gap so that it can be free. Why? So this is the major thing that you need to put in place when you are making your measurements. So thank you very much for watching. Remember, it's your friend, UJ Design. So if our tutorial has been helpful, so please subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and share our videos. Thank you.